The tale of two walkers. Meet two people, let's call them the grinder and the hacker. The grinder wakes up, drags themselves to the gym, and punishes their body on the treadmill for 45 minutes. Heart rate at 170, cortisol spiking, joints pounding. They burn 400 calories but leave the gym starving, stressed, and inflamed. Now meet the hacker. They don't run, they don't pant, they don't suffer, they simply walk. But they walk differently. By the end of the month, the grinder has lost maybe 2 pounds, mostly water weight, and feels burnt out. The hacker has lost 8 pounds of pure fat, feels energized, and their blood work looks 10 years younger. Why does the lazy approach win? Because the grinder fought against their biology while the hacker unlocked it. Today, we are not just telling you to walk more. We are giving you the owner's manual for your metabolism. These are the 5 biological switches that turn a simple walk into the ultimate fat-burning weapon. Welcome to Body Science Truths. Hack number 1, the glucose sponge mechanism. Let's start with a problem. 88% of adults have some form of metabolic dysfunction, usually starting with insulin resistance. Normally, when you eat a sandwich, your blood sugar rises. Your pancreas senses this and sprays insulin into the blood. Imagine insulin as a key and your muscle cells as a door. The insulin key unlocks the door so sugar can enter and be burned. But if you are sedentary, those locks get rusty. The insulin key stops working. The sugar has nowhere to go, so it gets diverted to your liver and stored as visceral fat. This is where the post-meal walk changes everything. Scientists discovered a backdoor to your muscle cells called the GLUT4 transporter. When you walk and your muscles contract, they can mechanically open these doors without needing insulin at all. By walking for just 10 to 15 minutes after a meal, you are manually bypassing the broken insulin system. You are acting like a manual pump, sucking glucose out of your blood and burning it instantly. The protocol. Here is exactly how to do it. You have a specific window. The golden window is 30 to 60 minutes after your last bite of food. You don't need to speed walk. A casual pace is enough to activate the GLUT4 contractions. If you do this after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you essentially delete the blood sugar spike from every meal you eat. Hack number 2, the Boer effect and the oxygen trap. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake people make, breathing. It sounds automatic, but most people are doing it wrong and it's freezing their fat loss. When you walk with your mouth open or talk on the phone while walking, you tend to overbreathe. You exhale too much carbon dioxide. You might think carbon dioxide is just a waste product, but biologically it is actually the key that releases oxygen. This is known in physics as the Boer effect. Imagine your red blood cells are little delivery trucks carrying boxes of oxygen to your muscles and fat cells. To burn fat, you need that oxygen. Fat cannot burn without it. But here is the catch. The delivery truck has a lock on the back door, and the only thing that opens that lock is carbon dioxide. If you breathe through your mouth, you blow off all your CO2. The lock stays shut. The delivery truck drives past your fat cells without dropping off the oxygen. You feel breathless not because you lack oxygen but because you can't release it. The protocol, so we use the nasal-only rule. Tape your mouth shut if you have to, metaphorically speaking. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. This traps enough CO2 to unlock the Boer effect, effectively dumping oxygen into your tissues. If you feel air hunger or a strong urge to open your mouth, simply slow down. Do not open your mouth. Force your body to become more efficient. Over time, this trains your mitochondria to create more energy with less air. Hack number 3, the bone-pancreas axis. For a long time, doctors thought bones were just concrete structures, dead tissue that holds us up. But recently we discovered that bones are actually endocrine organs. They secrete hormones just like your thyroid or pancreas. One of the most powerful hormones they release is called osteocalcin. And here is the magic. Osteocalcin talks directly to your fat cells, telling them to release a hormone called adiponectin, which literally burns fat and increases insulin sensitivity. But your bones don't just release this automatically. They need a signal. They need compression. Walking is great, but walking with body weight alone eventually stops providing enough compression to stimulate this hormone. This is why we ruck. By adding weight to your back, you create a vertical load on your spine and hips. This microcompression sends a signal to your bone marrow: we are under load, get stronger. Release osteocalcin. The protocol. How do you start without hurting your back? Start with the 10% rule. Take your body weight, find 10% of it, and put that in a backpack. If you weigh 180, that's just 18 pounds. Keep your posture upright, shoulders back. Don't run. Just walk. The extra weight forces your core, glutes, and stabilizer muscles to fire twice as hard. You turn a casual stroll into a full-body hormonal event. Hack number 4, Optic flow and the cortisol reset. We live in an epidemic of chronic stress. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is the enemy of fat loss, specifically belly fat. When cortisol is high, your body thinks it is in a famine or a war, so it aggressively holds onto fat stores around the organs as a survival mechanism. Most people try to relax by looking at their phone, scrolling social media. Biologically, this makes it worse. When you stare at a screen, your vision narrows. This is called foveal vision. In nature, we only used foveal vision for 2 things: fighting or hunting. So when you stare at a phone, your brain thinks you are in a confrontation. It keeps the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight, active. To switch it off, you need panoramic vision, or what scientists call optic flow. This happens when you move forward through space and objects move past your peripheral vision. Imagine walking through a forest, trees passing you on the left and right. This visual data tells the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. We are moving, we are scanning, we are safe. The protocol, the rule is simple: no screens while moving. Podcasts are fine, audiobooks are fine, but your eyes must be up. Scan the horizon, look left, look right. If you are stuck on a treadmill, do not stare at the TV. Look around the gym, or better yet, cover the timer. You aren't just burning calories. You are manually lowering the stress hormone that is keeping you fat. Hack number 5, the circadian morning activation. Finally, we have the timing hack. The first light that hits your eyes in the morning sets the clock for your entire metabolism. When you walk outside within 30 minutes of waking up, specialized cells in your eyes, called melanopsin ganglion cells, detect the specific blue spectrum of sunlight. This signal shoots directly to the master clock in your brain, the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This clock then tells every cell in your body, the day has started. Switch from repair mode to energy burn mode. But here is the trick. You must do this before you spike your insulin. If you eat a bagel and then walk, your body runs on the bagel. If you walk on an empty stomach, even for 20 minutes, your body has no choice. It must tap into stored energy, which is body fat. The warning: be careful with what you drink first thing in the morning. It can make or break your fat-burning walk. Avoid the caffeine trap. If you drink coffee immediately upon waking and then walk, the caffeine spikes cortisol even higher, which can trigger a release of stored sugar from your liver, raising insulin. The professional move: drink water. Walk first. Earn the coffee. This maximizes the fat oxidation window and prevents the mid-afternoon crash. Now, before you lace up your shoes, make sure you aren't falling for these 3 common traps. Mistake 1. The power walker arm swing. You've seen them pumping their arms aggressively, thinking it burns more calories. Actually, this just creates torque in the spine and wastes energy. Keep your arms relaxed. Let them swing naturally. Efficient movement allows you to go longer. Mistake 2. The reward muffin. People often overestimate how many calories they burn. I walked for an hour, I deserve this treat. Remember, a 3-mile walk burns off about half a bagel. Don't eat back your progress. Let the walk be the reward. Mistake 3. Inconsistency. Biology loves rhythm. One 3-hour hike on Sunday is far less effective than a 20-minute walk every single day. You are trying to send a signal, and signals need repetition. Now, walking fasted is great for tapping into fat stores. But if you really want to turbocharge that process and enter deep ketosis, you need to understand what happens to your body after 24 hours without food. You might think this sounds too simple. Fitness culture taught us results must come from suffering, pain, and sweat. But the body releases fat when it feels safe and healthy, not when it feels under attack. These strategies aren't about burning insane calories. They're about sending the right signals. Signal muscles to absorb glucose through the back door. Signal blood cells to release oxygen. Signal bones to release hormones. Signal the brain that you are safe. Stack these signals consistently and your body responds. The hard belly softens. Energy returns. Movement feels natural again. So tonight, don't plan punishment. Plan a walk, grab a backpack. Close your mouth, look at the horizon, and let your biology do what it was designed to do. If this journey helped you see your own biology in a new light, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, because in the next video, we'll uncover another hidden ability of the human body that might surprise you even more.